Hello, everybody. Hi, nice to see all of you here. I hope you're well. Welcome to today's session. Super excited about today's session. It's something a little different, something I've not been doing much of, but today we're going to look at this, why 80% of resumes fail. It's all about jobs, getting a job, writing a resume. I'm going to explain more about why I'm doing this and how it can help you. But first, let's check in and see who's here with a bit of music. Priya, nice to see you.
Woke up today feeling so alive. Printing out my resume, gonna make it thrive. Polish up my words, fit them in the frame. Gonna show the world that I'm in the game.
Daniela. Rachel just became a member. Thank you, Rachel, so much.
CV like an open book, filled in details
And
with an
Ingrid as well.
interesting
Lovely,
look.
thank you so
Dressed
much.
to impress with a smile so bright. Gonna shine like a star
Nadia.
in the interview light.
Thank you.
Interview starts, I am ready to shine. Gonna show 'em this job is meant to be
man, nice to see you
every
here.
word I speak, every move I
Jenny,
take.
what's
I'm
up?
telling my story,
Hi,
no
Sarah.
room for mistakes.
Ibrahim, existing students. Great to see you. Let me fade out the music a little bit. Lovely to see all of you here, and lovely to see so many of you there also members. If you don't know, on my YouTube channel, you can now become a member and get extra videos. You can get all sorts of stuff. If you can see up here, we've got Aprils, become a Keithian member. Kudret as well, thank you so much. Wilson and Portil, you can see over here, thank you. If you want to become a member, you just click on this join button. It'll give you some information.
Ooh.
There's me. It's just $1.99 a month. You can get the badges, the custom emojis, and then extra footage from my live videos, recorded videos. I'll be doing some exclusive IELTS model answers. If you're interested, you can join there. It also helps me, support me, do more and more on YouTube to help you. There will be some extra footage from today's live video later that I'll be uploading for members only. So super excited, but even more excited about this, today's topic, doing resumes. You know, I have spent so many years focused on IELTS, exam preparation, but actually in my past, I've taught business English quite a lot. When I lived in China, I actually had a small business where I was sending teachers to companies, teaching companies business English and the language they need for meetings, negotiations. It was great. I loved it. So I'm quite excited to come back again and look at helping you with jobs. One of the reasons for this is so many students who have done IELTS are now looking for jobs. And I said, how can I help? They said, well, help us write a CV, help us prepare for the interview, and help us learn English for the workplace, the kind of international workplace. So that has been part of the motivation of doing this. Today is kind of dipping my toes in. It's a first try at something on this, but I'm going to tell you more about it, okay? Let's see how you're doing. Carol is here. Lovely to see you. Hey, Miguel from Spain, Zaragoza, if I remember. Lovely to see you here as well. Nice to see you. Hatim, I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, the music, get you in the mood. You know, business people love music. They really do. Pablo from Argentina. Lots of love and condolences to you and to all Catholics around the world for the loss of the wonderful Pope Francis. But lovely to see you here. Devyani from India, lovely to see you. You've got a lot of people around the world. Bangladesh, Algeria, Yasar, lovely to see you here. And Fur Days, great. So listen, let me explain. This session is going to be about 1 hour long, more or less. This is what we're going to look at. I'm going to explain, first of all, why writing a resume is difficult. You know why, but I'll explain how I see this. We're going to look at how good your resume is, right? How good do you think yours is at the moment if you're looking for a job? This information, right, it's useful if you're looking for a job now, but maybe you're not looking for a job, but in the future you might be. It's always good to begin early. So getting some ideas today could be really useful, whether you're job hunting or not, okay? I'm going to look at 3 silent killers of your CV, 3 things you probably haven't thought about, but they are probably killing your CV, and how to change that, how to make sure you've got an effective CV to get a job interview. The reality is the CV is the first impression. And if it's not good, you don't get a second chance, right? If your CV, it either goes to the interview or it's in the bin. If it's in the bin, there's no second chance, right? So don't be thinking, well, my CV's okay, but in the interview, I'm really good. If your CV's not amazing, you will not get the interview. So it's the first step. It has to be the most important step, right? Which is why we're focusing on that today, okay? I'm going to tell you about something I am creating and ready to rock and roll. It's the 10-day job interview challenge. It's a challenge for all of you guys who are interested in preparing for a job interview in the global marketplace. I'll tell you more about that later, okay? Brilliant. Good. Now then, let's see how you're doing. Lino, hello. Lovely to see you. From South Sudan. Excellent. Oh, why is that? Let me just move this over. One moment. For some reason, there we go. Excellent. Good. I've got you now. Lovely. Aurelia from China, currently living in London. Excellent. Well, now you're here. Lovely to see you here. Abdus from Bangladesh. Excellent. Nikita, nice to see you. I'm very, very well. Thank you. Bilal, I hope you're well as well. Okay. So that's what we're going to look at today. Let's begin. Actually, I'm going to begin with a vocabulary thing, because vocabulary, a note on vocabulary, because this confuses a few people. So let's just get this sorted out at the start, okay? A quick vocabulary note. There are different words. I've talked about the resume, right, at the start. So a resume. When we started up, I said why 80% of resumes fail. Resume has different words. This tends to be used more in America. Although in English we do use it, we pronounce it resume, a U, resume. So stress on the resume, right? Resume. Americans tend to pronounce it resume. It's a sound, resume. Resume. By the way, repeat with me, don't be embarrassed. Spelling, you can have it like this. You can also spell it with an E, because we have taken the word from French. But of course, the French would spell it with 2 accents, the resume, okay? In English, all 3 of these are accepted. They're all correct. My advice is probably to go for this one, because the accents we don't usually use in English. Most job advertisements on job boards use this, resume, and it's easy to pronounce, right? Resume. It could be confused with resume, but the context is normally clear enough. In Britain, we talk a lot about a CV, a CV, spelt with capital letters, no dots, a CV. That's probably the easiest for me. I say a CV. If you want to be clever, you can say a curriculum vitae. A curriculum vitae. That's what CV stands for, right? CV. Curriculum vitae. Vitae. Stress on the V. Vitae. Curriculum. Stress on the curriculum. Vitae. Tie, you can just remember because it looks like a tie that you wear. Vitae. So you can say curriculum vitae or CV or resume. All of them are good. Collocations, we talk about sending a resume or sending a CV or submitting. Can you submit your CV? I'm going to submit my resume. Okay. That is a quick vocabulary note to get it out of the way, just so we're all clear, right? Okay. Brilliant. Let's have a look. First of all then, the challenge of writing a resume in English. It's really difficult because, you know, when you're writing something, whenever you write something, like if you write a love letter to your partner, when you're writing, you're thinking about your partner. If you write a letter to your parents, maybe you're living abroad and you write a letter to your parents or even a text message, when you write, you're thinking of that person. When you write a CV, you've got no idea who that person is. There's no connection, and that makes it really hard because you're writing to a stranger. So how do you build a connection? It's really hard. Also, you may have limited experience. I mean, limited work experience. So in the CV, they're looking for 5 years experience in the job, and you've got 1 year experience. You know, that's such a common situation. My tip is, you know, a lot of people think, well, if they're looking for 5 years and I've got 2 years, I won't apply. Big mistake. Apply. If you really want the job, even if you don't have enough experience, still apply. It's worth applying. A, you might get the job. B, the experience of doing this is fantastic. And the feedback you will get, either, well, in the job interview, if you get to interview, is so useful. So always have a go if you really, really want that job. English, we're talking about resumes in English, right, for the global workplace. So you have to write in English. Using correct English is important. If you're making mistakes, grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, it doesn't look good. It's that first impression. It's like walking into the room with a cup of tea and spilling the tea down your shirt. Can you imagine in the interview? You've got your tea all over the shirt. Hello, my name's Keith. Sorry about the tea. It's not a good impression. The same with your CV. If you've got spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, it's not good. We'll talk more about that a bit later, okay? But finally, the competition. The competition is all the other people who are applying. There'll be hundreds of people applying. So how do you stand out, right? How do you look different from everybody else? So these are the challenges. I've got a quick question for you guys before we begin. As we begin, okay, we have already begun. Which do you think hurts resumes the most? Okay, A, typos. So typos means spelling mistakes. B, no keywords. Keywords are the important words in the job description. So when you have a job description telling you about the job, there are keywords that are so important, like qualification, a master's degree. That's key. Able to use ITA software. That probably is a key word. There are certain key essential words in the job description that you need to use in your CV. And if you don't, it doesn't help. Too long if your CV goes on for pages and pages and pages, you know. Here's a PDF, 10 pages of my life. No thanks. Which do you think hurts the most? Write in the chat. Just write down A, B, or C what you think in the chat. And let's have a look. Francesca says too long. Lakshmi, you're choosing 2. You can only choose 1, my friend. Interesting. Abdi Fatah, lovely to see you. Interesting. Too long. Interesting. Rachid, you have to choose 1, my friend. Gintares, lovely to see you here. A lot of you are saying C. Hey, Charlotte, you have a new avatar. Interesting. Right, okay. Thank you for choosing 1. Great. Okay. Here we go. The answer is B. No keywords. Okay. And I guess the simple for this, the reason for this is very, very simple, right? Is that the keywords. So a lot of companies use something called ATS. It's a software that they use. They use this software called applicant tracking systems. And basically, the software will look for the keywords in the curriculum. And if it doesn't have it, it doesn't accept the curriculum. Right? For example, it will be looking for the word master's degree, or the 2 words. Yeah. So if that is a requirement for the job, but you haven't got it in your CV goes to the bin. Full stop. So if you don't have the right keywords, your CV isn't even seen by the company. Only after the tracking has been applied, only then can you look at typos. Those are important, right? We talked about T on your shirt. Terrible impression. So typos are very, very bad. Too long is bad also, because I think nowadays, if your CV is more than 1 page, people tend not to see it, right? Recruiting managers tend to not look. They may look at the first page, but they won't look at the second page. So normally 1 page is what it should be. If it's too long, they will look at it, it's okay, but they won't read to the end. Same with typos. They'll look at the typos, but if you haven't got the keywords, you don't even get your foot in the door, right? You're stood outside with your cup of tea. You're not even in the game. So actually, typos, no keywords. No keywords is really what hurts you most. What does that mean, the keywords? Yeah, so keywords, I can just explain. Keywords are they're the essential requirements of a job that appear in the job description. Yeah, it's a good question. So these are the essential requirements of a job that appear in the job description. They are words or phrases. For example, master's degree might be one. The word Python might be another. If you're applying for a job as an IT architect, you need Python. And if you don't have Python, it won't be accepted. And here's the problem. Some people have Python, but they haven't written it in the CV. And so the tracking system puts you in the bin, finished, end of story. So it's really important to identify the keywords and then use them in your curriculum. All right, identify them and use them in your CV. Good, great question, Gamekis, thank you. Ruslan, yeah, it's on YouTube, so this is saved. You can come back later and watch it. It will still be on YouTube, absolutely, yes. Lim Yam, I'm happy also. Very happy to see you. Okay. Sadan Hossein, we're not doing IELTS today. We're just doing this. It's all about curriculums, job interviews, something a bit different. So, okay, that's what's hurting your resume. Let's move on. Let's have a look at, as I mentioned, 3 silent killers of your CV. Now, what if I told you that your resume might be working against you? I think this is important because I think most resumes fail not because you're not good enough, but because you don't sound good enough, or they don't sound good enough. The resume, right? The resume doesn't sound good enough. I'm going to just make that clear because the CV doesn't sound good enough. So very often people have the knowledge and the skills, like Python, but they're not able to present it good enough in the CV. And so the recruiting manager doesn't see your real potential. This is a real problem. There are many problems, as we mentioned at the start, right? There are many challenges, including writing to a stranger, you don't have the work experience, correct English. But really, the biggest problem I think many people have is that they're not able to express themselves. They don't show really how good they are in the CV. So the first silent killer for me is the lack of language clarity. So too many resumes are written in what I call robot English. It's the textbook language, but it doesn't connect with your recruiter. It's just the kind of thing that, in this day and age, so many people are copying and pasting from ChatGPT, and they're taking these generic phrases that mean nothing and putting it in the CV. And so you end up with this kind of robot English or textbook English. Like, for example, I'm a hardworking, goal-oriented and detail-focused professional with a strong passion for excellence. This is what your recruiter is looking like, right? Falling asleep. It doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me anything at all. Hardworking, what does that mean? Really? Goal-oriented, detail-focused. I mean, great vocabulary, but there's no connection with the person, with the recruiter, right? What would be much better would be something like, I helped reduce delivery delays by 30% by improving our team's communication system, right? Now, the recruiting manager is going to see that and go, okay, understood. I can see you're goal-oriented. I can see your attention to detail here, right? Basically, the difference is you have to show, right? Don't tell the recruiter. Don't tell them I'm hardworking, goal-oriented. Doesn't mean anything. Show them. Give them clear examples that show them who you are. And that kind of language will help create a connection. It's a better connection with the person, okay? Don't tell, show. That is the first thing, right? Get the language clarity. Make a real connection. I know it's hard because you don't know who the person is, but we have to try, okay? Excellent, good. Your Bloxy, this is very good. Word of advice, never fake context in your CV. Totally agree. Don't fake anything in your CV. You may want to exaggerate slightly and phrase things in a good way. You want to communicate in a good way, but don't lie. Don't make things up, right? Right, interesting. Trey, as mentioned here, it's interesting that you mentioned not turning an opportunity down just because we don't meet the required years of experience. It has happened to me a few times. Yeah, and it's such an important thing, right? Because there is no such thing as the perfect candidate. I think a lot of people think I have to be the perfect candidate. And if I'm not perfect, I can't apply. No, there is no perfect candidate. Every recruiting manager is making a balance and a compromise. So you should be in the game if you really want the job, right? Thanks, Tway, for sharing. That's really, really interesting. Yes. Christina of the CU English Club. Happy to see you here as well. Absolutely, Pradeep. Real connection is really important to enrich your CV. Trying to make that connection. So trying to understand the recruiting manager is really, really important. Roshni, thank you so much for sharing. Excellent. Good. Let's move on to number 2, the second silent mistake. And I call it cultural disconnect. So we're thinking about international workplaces, working globally, right? So the challenge here is that what sounds good in your native country might seem strange or weak in an international job market. And I say this from experience because I've worked a lot in Asia, in countries like China and Taiwan and Malaysia. And I've noticed in certain countries there's a different culture. For example, between humble or arrogant. This can be a bit stereotypical, but sometimes we think that some Asian cultures, people are very humble. And some Western cultures, like the UK and America, sometimes people can appear arrogant, right? Humble would be, I'm quite good. Arrogant is, I'm the best, right? Now, it may be difficult for you to say, I'm the best, because your culture tells you to say, I'm quite good. And so that difference, the cultural disconnect is difficult, right? So, for example, humble saying, yeah, I'm quite good. Or arrogant saying, I'm the best. Now, probably in the international marketplace, you want to be slightly more arrogant rather than humble. Humble is okay, but if you're too humble, it's a problem. Maybe you don't need to be arrogant, right? But you need to be more, let's say, confident. And maybe that's where you need to go, right? So maybe we can call it confidence. Humble, I'm quite good. Confident, yes, I'm good. I'm very good. Or arrogant, I'm the best. So you probably want to be somewhere in the middle. And for a culture, that can be quite difficult, right? I have the same problem when I was in China and I wanted to say, I'm really good at this. But I noticed that was difficult. And sometimes people encourage me to say, say I'm quite good. And I felt really uncomfortable. I said, I'm not quite good. I'm really good. Yeah, but you have to be aware of the culture. And so sometimes we have to change or adapt a little bit for the international job market, right? Let me give another example here. I'm just going to put this over here. For example, I supported my boss in a new product rollout. So you might put this in your CV, right? Because in your culture, you want to be maybe a bit humble. Yeah. I supported my boss in a new product rollout. It's good. You're supporting your boss. That's great. However, in the international marketplace, it might be better to say, I led the marketing designs for a new product rollout. Okay. This is just a bit more confident, proactive, not arrogant, but more confident maybe, right? I'm not sure if it's the right word, but let's use that word. Now notice it's the same thing. I supported my boss. I led marketing designs. The context is the same. The situation is the same. I'm not lying. I actually supported my boss, but I don't put that in my CV. In my CV, my focus is on what I did. I led marketing designs. That was my role. I'm confident. At the end of the day, it was the same. It was a new product rollout. So this might be what you want to say, but this maybe is what you need to say. Okay? Yes, right? Humble and confident. It's looking for a balance that you're comfortable with, right? Charlotte says, agree, Asians tend to be reserved and too polite. Westerners, on the other hand, often look confident or assertive. Assertive is a great word, yes. And so Western recruiters will be looking for confidence and assertion, not looking for humility, no. So you need to adapt a little bit, right? You're right, yeah. It's a useful tip. Consider the cultural context, who you are, and the international global context. Arrogance impresses some. Humility inspires many. I totally agree. But confidence impresses the recruiter, the Western recruiter particularly, and in international workplaces. And that's what we're talking about, right? Okay, good. Gemeki says, for example, can I say, I've led a group of 20 members and was able to fundraise for the church and collected 30% of the money? Yes, that's great. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's nice. It's good. It's confident. It's clear what you did. Really, really good. Yes. I've talked about humble and arrogant, but also there's this idea of collaborative or proactive. Again, in some cultures, being collaborative, working together, is highly valued. Teamwork is valued in the West, global companies, but proactive is probably valued more, right? Again, the difference between collaborative, you may say in your CV, okay, we improved sales conversion by 20%. That's collaborative. I'm saying what we did. As a team, we improved, right? I don't want to say I did that. We did it as a team. Good, right? No, not good. Because the recruiter, again, global recruiters, especially in the West, they don't want to know so much about collaboration. They're more interested in you're proactive. What did you do, right? Exactly. What did you do? So you could take the same situation, right? Notice you're not lying. You're taking the same situation, but you saying it a different way. So let's take the same situation, but we can say, I led the marketing designs because actually that was my responsibility. That's what I did proactively. I led marketing designs that led to an improvement of sales conversions by 20%. Can you see? I'm not lying. It's the same situation, but instead of being collaborative, I'm showing I'm proactive. This is what I did. This was the result. So you don't lie, but the way you express it is important. So I think being aware of the cultural difference, right? Humility and confidence, collaboration and proactiveness. Think about that and find a balance that you're comfortable with, but will be effective for a CV in the global workplace. Okay? Great. So that's number 2, the cultural disconnect, right? Think about the international job market. Think about confidence, expressing your confidence and expressing your proactive nature. Okay? Excellent. Abro John, thank you so much for that. Lovely. Lovely to see you here. Lakshmi, proactiveness leads to confidence. Yes, you're right. Proactive can lead to confidence. Absolutely. They are connected. And I think because these are things that are valued, it's important to know it. Okay. Let's move on to a quick tip. Showing confidence. You guys can help me here. In order to show confidence, one thing to do is to avoid weak action verbs. So verbs like I helped, I worked on, they're okay, but they're a bit weak, right? I helped my boss, it's kind of collaboration. It's not proactive, it's not confident. What might be better words to express? Instead of helped and instead of worked, what could be better words? Right? To show confidence. Whoops. Let me just take it down. To show confidence and proactiveness. Any ideas, guys, in the chat? Scholarships as well. Yes, absolutely. Yes, if it's an international scholarship. Yes, Gemekis. Mm-hmm. Any ideas? Different words you could use that might show your confidence. Let's have a look. Let's have a listen. I love how you're all chatting with each other. Was involved. Mediated, okay. Collaborate. New avatar, Harry. Okay. Okay. Any others leading with? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Interestingly, significantly interesting, yes. Magda, very nice. Okay. Okay, some great ideas there. Yes. So let's put in some. Yes, I would agree with those. I would add, you could say led. Led is very strong. If it's true, right? I helped with a new design project. I led a new design project. If it's not true, you can say which part you led, right? I led the let's say the image design of a new design project. Okay. Yes, I mean something like that. You can give the specific part that you led. Okay, but led is much more proactive. Managed, great. Okay, helped, worked on. Again, if you didn't manage the whole project, just say which part you managed, right? Initiated is great. I initiated, we had. I was involved. I don't like so much. Involved in. The problem with that is it doesn't tell me what you did, right? It doesn't really tell me your role. Again, helped doesn't tell me what you did. Worked, it's not as strong. I don't know what you did. But I led, I managed, I initiated, are really, really good. Others that you had that I liked, I improved, again, yep, absolutely, if it's true. And you can focus on the bit that you improved. I improved the image design of a new design project. Yep. Those are really, really nice. Created might be another one. I created, yeah, something. And you say what you created. So you're not lying, but you're just focusing on the thing that you did, and these are much stronger words to use. I led, I managed, I initiated, improved. They just feel stronger, right? When you say these words, you feel, oh, yeah, this person's really good. These, I don't know, right? Okay, excellent. You've got lots of other ideas, they're really good. Carried out, good one, Mossa. Yeah, also nice. Okay. Of course, make sure it is true and be ready to explain the details, right? Because if you lie, you have a problem because they're going to ask you more details. So make sure it's true and just be ready to explain the details. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is lack of focus. The third thing that is killing your CV is this lack of focus. So remember, a job interview, right, and a CV, I mean, I was thinking about jobs, but it's about what you bring to the company. It's not a history lesson. Okay? So your resume has to reflect that. Sometimes people just put the dates. It's like a history lesson. I was born in Manchester. I went to university in 1992. I did a master's degree in 2021. I got my first job in and it's just like it's a history lesson, and it's boring, and it's not gonna get the recruiting manager by the neck. You want to give the dates, yeah, of course. But you want to focus on your strengths, what you did that was good, the strengths. So, of course, in addition to the dates, add your strengths, right? Simple example. Let's take this example for a nurse, okay? And this is a real example I've taken. So a nurse, we've got in her CV, 2015, nurse in pediatric ward, and treated children, right? She may, or he may even say, I treated children. 2016, nurse in a general ward, I gave medicines. Okay, that's what I did. 2018, head nurse in surgery, I supported surgeons. Okay. It's just telling me information. It's the date and simple information. It's not great, right? It's not really good. It would be much better to focus on the strength. I mean, you could do something so simple as, instead of I treated children, you could say, well, I developed strong patient care skills. Okay, I developed strong patient care skills. Notice that developed, it's a proactive, a more stronger word. And it focuses on your strengths, what you've done. It's just more interesting. Gave medicines, we could change to something that you did. You could put instead, I managed new vaccination rollouts, for example, right? Again, managed. Notice the words we're using. Developed, managed. It's just more interesting, right? Much more interesting. Instead of I supported surgeons, we could have here. I led new training plans for trainee nurses. Again, led. Very strong words, and it's just giving us more information, and it's showing where your strength is as a nurse, right? You were able to manage the vaccination rollouts. You led a training plans, right? It's just so much more interesting and useful. So that's an example, right? It's really, really important to be focused, to reflect your strengths, not just information. It's not a history lesson. It's you selling yourself. At the end of the day, you're like the guys at the market selling their fruit and vegetable. The best potatoes here, cheap, good quality. You're the same. It's, look, me, Keith, I'm the best. I'm good. I'm really good. This is what I've done. This is my strength. You're selling yourself in the CV. So it's often not about you're not good. That's not the problem. It's that you're not able to communicate how good you are. That's what you need to be doing, right? And this is one example, I think, of doing that. So showing your strengths, not just a history lesson. Okay, great. Another tip I would just add here, in your CV, don't include experience that is not relevant to the job. Sometimes people just write down everything they've done, every year, every single job. But is it relevant? If it's not relevant, don't include it, right? The recruiting manager doesn't want your history lesson. They want to know what you're good at and what will bring value to the company. So don't write everything you've ever done. Focus on the things that are needed for that job, that bring value to that job, if you like. Okay. Gemekis, will you upload this video later? It's a superb by chance. Very nice. It will stay on YouTube. So you can see it on YouTube and come back later and watch it. Yes. Great, GG YouTube channel. You've got your shout out there. Well done. Pradeep, I have over a decade of professional experience in education and research with a demonstrated ability to teach, mentor and manage academic programs. That's nice. Very, very good, right? It summarizes your 10 years experience and what you're good at, not just a history lesson. Very, very good. Avoid the history lesson. show your skills and strengths. May, excellent. Let me just help you. Skills and strengths, that's the one. Good example from Tila. I developed strong customer service skills. Excellent, good. Harry, I improved my students' academic results to achieve their desirable score in public exams. It's okay, yes. If you can add statistics, 20%, 10%, 15%, that would be even better. Yes, and you could also add how you did it. I improved by doing and got the result Yeah, that's really more powerful. Okay. Kudret, can we add some supplementary documents, such as the copy of the job duty distribution or received merit plaque as a proof of our abilities? It depends on the job and what they ask you for. Generally speaking, I would say no, right? When you submit your CV, just submit the CV. Sometimes you can put a cover letter. So a cover letter is a very quick summary of who you are, and then the CV has more detail. But no, I wouldn't send your plaques, your qualification, duty distribution. No, it's not necessary. If they are interested in you and they want an interview, at a later stage, they will ask for proof, okay? In the beginning, they believe you. But if they want to offer you the job, they will ask for all the proof. So in the beginning, no. Later, maybe. Excellent, good. One thing to remember, I mean, I've looked here, right, very briefly at 3 silent killers, right, of your CV. Lack of language clarity, okay, being aware of the cultural disconnect and finding the balance, humble, confident, collaborative, proactive. And we've also looked at, the lack of focus, making sure it's not a history lesson, but focusing on your strengths. Even with a great resume, if you can't speak confidently about your experience, it's hard to move forward. And this is not just about grammar, it's about communicating your true value in English. So the CV is important, but there's the second step, right? The job interview. Today, I'm just talking about the CV, but you have to remember the next step is the job interview, and can you communicate the value you'll bring in that interview? Okay. That's why I have set up and created the following. And it's called basically the 10-day job interview challenge. This may be of interest. It may not be, but let me tell you about it. So the reason I created this is to help you or to enable you to write effective CVs, give confident job interviews so you get the job of your dreams. I've been teaching IELTS students for a long, long time. And of course, a lot of students, when they finish IELTS, they study abroad and then they get the master's and they start looking for a job. And one of the most asked for things was, Keith, can you help us with writing CVs, getting a job, doing job interviews, learning English for the workplace? So I decided, I was thinking about, between you and me, I was thinking about creating a course, kind of a business English course. But I thought it would be more interesting to do some short challenges like job interview challenge or meetings challenge or telephone challenge, to look at the skills in short bursts, because following a course can be quite long. So I decided to create something called the 10-day challenge. It's very, very short, right? The 10-day challenge to help you write CVs, prepare for a job interview and practice that. Very briefly, I'll tell you about me in a moment, but what is in the 10-day challenge? In just 10 days, you can learn how to write effective resumes, how to speak clearly and confidently about your experience, answer those common job interview questions, and most importantly, show your personality and value in English. This challenge basically includes small daily tasks, around 45 minutes a day, basically. So you need to dedicate a bit of time. There are some real speaking practice activities. So you will be practicing in role plays, doing interviews. There are videos and PDFs. There are tips for modern international companies, right? How to work in that global workplace. And there's a very supportive community that I will be creating. Okay. This is the challenge. It's a 10-day challenge. It's coming at the beginning of May. Just to tell you about me and why me. I mean, I've been teaching IELTS for the last 10 years, but before that, I was managing international education projects with the British Council across Asia for over 10 years. And in that, actually, I've recruited teachers and trainers for the education projects. I'm very familiar with international recruitment processes, and I'm deeply aware of international company cultures and working with people of different cultures. And I think all of that has helped me design this challenge to make it the most useful and impactful. Isabel, have a great day. See you soon. So this is the 10-day challenge. If you're interested, I said, remember, 80% of resumes fail, but that doesn't have to be yours. You just need the right skills, the right words, and the right preparation. This challenge, the 10-day challenge, the enrollment opens on the 28th of April. Okay, that's next Monday. You'll be able to join if you're interested. If you're interested now, then you can join our mailing list. Basically, the way to do that is to download this free PDF. So if you download, let me ask, by downloading this free PDF. Basically, I'll show you. If you click on the link here, and I'll ask Burns, if you're there, please share this link with the guys, Burns, who works with me. Basically, when you click on the link, right, you'll see this. If you click on this link, it'll take you to a landing sheet. This is a cheat sheet to the top 30 top job interview phrases. If you just write down your email, for example, here, and then give it to me, you'll be able to get, with that, you'll get the PDF, but you'll join our mailing list. And then next week, when the enrollment opens, we'll send you more information. I don't know the price yet. I don't know a few more details, but we'll have that ready for Monday. And you can join us if you're interested. Your blocks, it won't be free. No, it'll be a paid for challenge. Mainly, well, it's to encourage people to focus and to get people who really want to go through the 10 days. Sometimes when you offer free courses, people join and then nobody participates. I want this to really work because I want people who are in there to be doing role play activities together. So there are speaking activities together. There'll be Zoom meetings. I want people who are in to be in for the 10 days. And so when we charge, it encourages people to dedicate. When you pay for something, you're going to do it. That's one of the reasons, right? To make sure we get people in and participating. So it works well. Okay. Nice initiative for job seekers. I hope so. Yes. So we'll share the link when it starts. If you want to get that, let me share the link with you in the channel here. Yeah, so there's the link for the phrases, the PDF. Let me put it in again. Let me add this if you're on Facebook. Burns, where are you? I'll put this in on Facebook as well, so you can get it. I'm going to put it several times because the messages sometimes fly past so quick, right? But with that link, you can get the PDF and you can also then join the emailing list. And we'll tell you about it over on Sunday, Monday, and you can get ready. The summary basically is here. I'm getting ready to finish up. 10-day job challenge. Enrollment opens April 28th. That's next Monday. The actual challenge runs from the 2nd of May to the 12th of May. Okay, 10 days. You'll need about 45 minutes every day in all the activities. And that's it. If you have more questions, you can contact us here. Let us know. Okay. If you've got any more questions you want to ask about the course or about things related to that, do let us know. Okay. Excellent. It's so amazing. Thank you so much for the course. Well, I hope it will be. It'll depend on you guys as well. Nothing motivates like I paid for it. I know, right? Absolutely. Okay, I've put the address in here. Okay, excellent. Right, good. That's it. That has been, gosh, we've been an hour. That is just a quick summary of everything that we've got for today. Looking at, of course, we were looking about why 80% of resumes fail. We've been through the different areas, right? The cultural disconnect, being aware of that. Lack of focus in your CV. Make sure you're putting the relevant information and showing your strengths in there. And the clarity of language, using language that has built a connection with the other person, not just a history lesson, not just copied from ChatGPT, meaningless phrases, right? All of these are really important. I hope this has been useful. You can come back and watch this video again at any time. A quick shout out to those of you on YouTube, because I can see a few of you have become Keithians. What is a Keithian? A Keithian is somebody who follows me, right? You can see on the YouTube channel here, some of you have got that badge by you. When you've got the badge, I can't see it here. But basically, you can become a member of the channel. YouTube channel members are open. You get extra video for members. I'll be doing an extra video today if you're a member. It's a behind the scenes, how I prepare for job interviews and public speaking. You'll find that later today in the posts. I'll show you. If you want to become a member, just go to the video. You'll see this join button. If you click join and you click here,
hello.
It's just €199 a month. It's just a way of supporting me, but you'll get extra videos. I'll be notifying about all of the extra information in the posts. So if you go to, I'll just show you here, the Key Speaking Academy, this area where it says posts, that is where I will put the posts for the private videos and for members only. You'll get the information and you'll be able to see more videos helping you with whatever I'm talking about English learning in my videos generally. Okay. This Saturday, there's a new video and it's also related to this topic. On Saturday, I've got a new video on the 26th, mistakes you may be making in your job interview and how to fix them. So we've talked about CVs today. On Saturday, that video is about your job interview, common mistakes you may be making and how to fix them, and so that you get interview ready with all of that. Brilliant. There's a lot going on, right? You hit me different. Shout out. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. Adul, become a member. Just join. You can just press the join button and sign up there, and you get access to more videos, but you know really what it's about is just an opportunity to build a closer connection with some of you out there who want to, feel a bit closer to me and have a connection and learn more. It also supports the work I'm doing on YouTube, which is hopefully helping anybody learning English, especially IELTS students, people looking for a job also with this. So I hope that helps you out there. Brilliant. Guys, I'm going to wrap up and finish for today. Thank you so much for joining me. It was lovely to see all of you here. And that's it. I'll leave you with a little bit of music to go out on. Okay? And I'll see you when? Saturday. There'll be a new video. Join us there. Take care.
Woke up today feeling so alive. Printing out my resume, gonna make it thrive. Polish up my words, fit them in the frame. Gonna show the world that I'm in the game. Proofread my CV like an open book. Filled in details with an interesting hook. Dressed to impress with a smile so bright. Gonna shine like a star in the interview light. The interview starts, I am ready to shine.
10 o'clock morning, Spain time.
Gonna show them this job is meant to be mine.
Hi, Dominic.
Every word I speak, every move I take.
Great. Thanks,
I'm telling my story, no room for mistakes.
Great.
Woke up today feeling so alive. Printing out my resume, go make it thrive.
Rojital.
Polish up my words,
Click
fit
on the
them
link
in the frame.
here and download the PDF, and you'll get on the mailing list. And then we'll let you know.
Proofreading my CV like an open book, filled in details with an interesting hook. Dressed to
good to see
impress
you.
with a smile so bright. Gonna shine like a star in
Thank
the
you, Ingrid,
interview
for becoming
light.
a member.
The interview starts, I am ready to shine. Gonna show 'em this job
Dream
is
Job
meant to
by
be
Keith
mine.
O'Hare and Sumo.
Every word I speak, every move I take. I'm telling my story, no room for mistakes.
Magda, so kind. Thank you.
The interview starts, I am ready to shine. Gonna show 'em this job is meant
Lovely
to
to
be
see you,
mine.
Janital. Thank you.
Every word I speak, every
Ciao.
move I take. I'm telling my story, no room for mistakes. Every word I speak, every move I take. I'm telling my story, no room for mistakes.
Hey, Julia. Thank you very much. Little thank you. Thank you, Ibrahim, as well. All of you, thank you so much. Take care. We'll see you soon. All the best now. Bye-bye.